Hello friends, and welcome to Decorate Your Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a tutorial on how you can make these beautiful Shabby Chic pocket mini albums using Spellbinders Designer Series paperback envelope dies by Tammy Tutoro. This is a start to finish mini album tutorial where you're going to see everything that I have used on the making of this cute mini album. I will be sharing with you how I do my bows, how I decorate the pages, and some of you have asked me, Sandy, how do you Shabby Chic? Well, in this tutorial you're going to get to see exactly how I Shabby Chic. In this Shabby Chic pocket mini album tutorial, we're going to be covering a lot of ground, so I highly recommend that you add this tutorial to your personal playlist for future reference. And as you can see, I made two Shabby Chic pocket mini albums. One is for me and the other one is to share. To enter to win this Shabby Chic mini album that I'm creating in this tutorial, hop on over to my blog and leave me a comment there, and I will choose one person at random using random.org. And you know the rules. You have to be a subscriber, you have to be 18 years or older to win. You will find links to my blog and the dies that I have used in this Shabby Chic mini album in the description area below. And on a side note, I want to thank my friend Christine. Christine is Shabby Pink House right here on YouTube, who gifted me these beautiful Shabby Chic papers and seam bindings that I have used throughout the making of both albums. Thank you so very much, Christine. As you can see, I'm spreading the love. I hope that you enjoy this mini album tutorial, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave me your questions or any requests in the comments section below. And speaking of requests, somebody requested to see a Halloween mini album, and I'll tell you what, that one's in the works, so keep an eye out for that one. I also want to say a big hiya and welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so very much for subscribing to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I hope that you stick around because there's more fun along the way. Okay, so we're going to be making this very same mini album using the Spellbinders Designer Series Tammy Tutoro's paperback envelope number S6-118, and this is going to be a 5 pocket page mini album. And as far as the binding is concerned, just to keep it simple, I'm going to be using my cinch. And so you can use any type of binding that you prefer, but just to keep it simple, I like using the cinch. So I have taken the liberty to make a few die cuts ahead of time. And of course, we have our die cuts using the Tammy Tutoro paperback envelope. And I have cut 5, and there is a trick to cutting these right here. Let me show you what the dies look like. This pack contains a set of 3 dies. I'm going to be using this as my front pocket, and for this tutorial I'm going to be using these as my back pockets. Okay, so you only get one, and there is a trick to cutting these because they do come with a corner chunked off over here, and that would be your outside corner. So what you want to do in order for your papers to match, what you do is you cut your paper as you would, you lay down your die as you would regularly on your paper, and you have the left hand side cut. Now to make the right hand side cut, what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper and you're going to turn it around. And then you're going to cut like so, and this, once it's cut, you flip it over, you have your right side. that's all there's to it. Now, you can make tags for your envelope pockets using this die right here. I may or may not use it later on because it so happens that the paper collection that I'm using does come with its own set of tags, so we may very well be using those. And yeah, you're going to cut a set of 5 or 6 or 4, however chunky you want it. I love the chunky feel of it, the look of it. I just love this. It doesn't bother me. Some people don't like it this chunky. You may want to do 4 pages, but as much embellishments as I put in here, you may want to do just the 4 or 1, 2, 3, yeah, or the 5, or you could do 6. 6 would come out to here, but it's all up to you. And don't forget that once you add your favorite pictures in there, it will make it just a tad bit chunkier. So, okay, let me show you the other things that I have cut. Now, to cut this part right here, I will be using the Spellbinders Die Delights Frame 1, number S2-001. And friends, I will be putting links to these Spellbinders dies in the description area below, and you will also find them in my blog. For this die cut right here, I use the Spellbinders Die Delight Reflection, number S2-145. And I die cut a bunch of corners. Okay, I believe there's 6 corners that I cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I die cut 6 corners, and those are going to be with the Spellbinders Die Delight Victoria Corners, number S2-134. I also cut these 2 pieces right here using the Spellbinders Die Delights Swirl Delight, number S2-142. I cut my little kitty cat. In this book, I use a butterfly. You'll see it right on the first page right there. For the one that we're about to make, I want to use a kitty cat. So this cat I cut using the Spellbinders Die Delights. Perfect. Perfect. Number S3-214. And I added a tiny little flat back pearl. It's an iridescent pink flat back pearl right at the tail to accent her tail. And let's see, I also cut several of these. 2, 3, I think 6. I cut 6 of these, and these I'll be using in right along here in these tags. See, these are the tags that come with this paper collection. So what I do is I fold these down and I accentuate them with these. So that's going to go on our tags. And for those tags, for these little accent pieces, I use the Spellbinders Shapeabilities Victoria Medallion 2. I use the little one, number S4-443. To cut these gorgeous accent corners, which I also use some iridescent pink flat back pearls glued on just a couple, 2 or 3 of the spots. I cut 2 of these, and those are using the Spellbinders Die Delights Garden Weave, number S2-006. And for the doily, I will be using a doily here as well, just like I did over here on the first page. I cut myself a doily. What I did was I cut it first using the Spellbinders Shapeabilities, this die right here, and the style number is S5-035, and after I cut it, Sorry for this mess. After I cut it using this die, I ran it through my embossing machine, and I just embossed, and I just embossed this die cut, and I think it looks pretty cute. So you're gonna need those. You're gonna need your set of dies, and yeah, double-sided tape, and of course glue, your die cutting machine, your scissors, your you will need a scoreboard, and let's see, and this tutorial. So okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to be doing here is we're going to take out our scoreboard, and what we're going to do is we're going to be making a score mark along each and every single one of the front side to the pocket pages. So how we're going to do this is we're going to take this pocket page, see the jigsaw side, you're going to keep it to your left hand side. There we go. This is going to go right up against your scoreboard, just like so, okay? And right at 5 1/4, we are going to draw a line. 5 1/4. And we are going to draw that score mark on all of them. Okay, so as far as the scoring is concerned, that's pretty much it. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to fold these along. Just like so. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold along the natural score mark that the die left behind, and that natural score mark, you're going to find it right at that corner. Look for the corner in your die cuts, and that is where your natural score line is going to be, or the score line. I call it the natural score line, but you know what I mean. It's a score line left behind by the Tammy Tutoro paperback die. So, like so. And I am going to secure these like this, but I will be doing a little bit of cutting before I do that, alrighty? Now, if you look closely at, here, this way you can see how I did these? You can, if you want to, you can actually glue these along the inside like this if you choose, okay? But I just wanted to make these as simple and easy as possible, alrighty? So I decided to glue them like this, okay? And as you can see, each one of these pages have been glued like that with the seam on the outside, and I don't think it makes a difference. I like it, and since the theme is shabby chic, I really don't think it matters, but if it matters to you, you can always glue these on the inside. Now, before we get to the gluing part, we're going to make a change. You see this natural score line left behind by the die? We are going to go ahead and fold right along. Okay? You see it. I've done it here. I've done it here. Well, some of them are covered, but I did it on each and every single page. Okay? And we're going to take a pencil, and we are going to need some scissors, and I'm going to be using my clunky scissors. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our page and we're going to line it up, okay? Make sure that it's lined up right. And what we're going to do over here is we are going to make a cut. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line right where the fold is, the seam of the fold. I'm going to draw my line right along there, and that is going to be my cutting line. See that? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it at an angle, kind of like a half triangle or a right angle. I'm going to cut it like so, okay? And then I'm going to cut right along this seam or this line. And let's see. Okay, there we go. And this is what we are left with. See that angle? I do the angle because it's easier for me to fit this in here if I cut it at an angle instead of trying to match it perfect with that. Okay, so I'm going to do that for one, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other. Okay, we're going to take this like so, and we are going to place that mark. Alrighty, we have our mark. We are going to cut it at an angle till we get to that point, and then we are going to cut right along there. Yeah, don't want to overdo it on my cutting, but if you cut it in a little bit deep, don't worry too much about it. You can always die cut another piece, but if you're running short on paper, you don't want to waste anything, know that this part is going to be hidden very well. Okay, so now we're going to take our glue, and we don't have anything glued on yet. The first thing, the easiest way for me to do this is to just glue the sides first. So that is what we're doing now. So I'm gluing my sides, and I'm using my bone folder to remove any air bubbles. And this glue is going to take a little bit to dry. You can use very thin double-sided tape if you don't want to wait. I believe it's the 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape, so that's one. And we are going to do the same with the other. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and apply a strip of glue all along our side, just on the outside part, and we're going to glue this in. Get rid of any air bubbles. And then we're going to take this part right here and we're going to glue it to the back side of our page. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this part right along here and we are going to glue it down. When you're folding down, when you're gluing down this flap, you can also use your double-sided tape if you wish. If not, you can just use your glue. So that is one pocket. Alrighty, I am going to set these. I'm going to continue to make pockets with these, and then afterwards we are going to use our dabber and some ink and just kind of like ink it around the edges. Okay, so here we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know that this one is wrong, but it's okay. It's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. It's Shabby Chic. Okay, so now I'm going to take, let's see, this is a worn out sponge, and I don't know about you, but I like to keep my worn out sponges that already have the color, the ink in them. This doesn't have any more ink, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my paper pads, dab it in there just a little bit, and get rid of a bit of the excess, and just dab all across here. Let me start with the back. Okay, so now that we have inked around the edges, the next step is to actually begin decorating it. Okay, now that I have all of my pocket pages ready to embellish, I am going to do just that. Now, the very first page has a doily, something over here, and I had covered up the flap with some flat back pearls. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take my doily, oops, I'm going to be, excuse me, I'm going to be using my doily, a little kitty cat. At first I got to decide what is going to go where. Okay, let me see, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I think that's how I want these. Hang on just a moment. Let me see the back to these. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thing and I'm going to fold it in half. So we are folding. And the reason that I didn't put it all the way over here is because I got to keep in mind that later on I'm going to be punching these holes out for my binding. Okay, so that's pretty much one page, and what I can do here, I can do something here if I want to. Let me see if no, I didn't do anything over there. Okay. So that takes care of one page, and it leaves spot right here for picture. Now, the second page looks like this. There we go. And that is what I'm going to replicate. Now for the third one, I am going to try and replicate this. Alrighty. See that? I love it. So that's another page. And now, let's see. Oh, I use this. Oh, and I use this back here. Okay. Let me see what I can do with that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now I gotta think, now that I have my 5 pages decorated, do I want to decorate in the back? Okay, this one is going to have something tucked in there, so the answer to that is no. This one, I do want something over here, so this and this is going to serve me for here. Okay. I love these decorative edges or corners. There we go. Okay. So it goes like that. That one goes like that. Oh, this one also has a pocket, so I'm not going to put anything on it. And I can put some edges here. Okay. And of course, always leaving a little bit of space there because we are going to be using the cinch to bind our book. Love, love, love. So we have decorated our pages. It is looking so fabulous. So I'm going to let the glue dry, and then I will come back with the tags. And the last thing that we will do is the binding. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to be making the tags. I cut 3 of the larger tags from the collection and 2 of the smaller tags, and I've just cut 2. I don't know why there's 3. Okay, and what I'm doing now is I am just going to ink around the edges. And we're going to do this for each and every single one of the tags, and then we are going to add some embellishments over here, just like I did, whoops, with these tags over here. Okay, because I've had to make 2 additional tags, I had to do 2 additional die cuts of this right here. And I just want to show you real quick that when you're doing intricate dies, it helps to have a tool-in-one. This is a Spellbinders tool-in-one, and let me show you the stock number for it. There we go. It's T-001, and it comes in a container like this. And I tell you, when you're doing these intricate die cuts, it helps a lot. All you do is basically brush it like so, and voila, it's out. And then you're going to use this tip right here to remove any additional little thingamajiggies that may not have come out with the first brushing. And that is all there's to it. Oops, I don't want to lose that. And of course, you can always use this to push out any paper residue that you may have. So I needed a really great tutorial, something simple that will help me make really great bows. And I was going through Tammy Tutoreau's blog, and she has a great bow making tutorial that shows you how to make these cute fluffy bows. Now, her dimensions are different than mine. She starts her tutorial by you making a template, and this was over here, actually attached here, and obviously that was going to be too big of a bow for something like this. I needed it smaller, so I cut this piece right here and I moved it closer to this other piece. I just used some double-sided tape. It's very generic, as you can see, and these dimensions are actually the dimensions for my seam binding that I'm going to cut to use the bow. And I will go ahead and leave a link to Tammy's fluffy bow tutorial in the description area below. So it's so super simple to make these bows, and they come out so pretty. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our seam binding and we're going to cut two pieces. The first piece is going to be 13 inches. So let me measure 13 inches. There we go. And I got to these dimensions just through basic trial and error, friends. You know how it is. Okay, want to see my mistakes? These were my mistakes. Until I finally got to a dimension that was going to work for me for this size tag. And the tags, I believe, are 3 by 4.5. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yep, 4.5 by 3. So these bows, these dimensions are perfect for the 4.5 by 3 tag. Okay, the second one that I'm going to cut is a 10-inch piece. And here's the 10 inches. Sorry about that. Sorry if I'm off frame. Okay, and then let me move this a little bit further so we can see. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do, you're going to need a couple of these, and I know that you guys have these somewhere in your craft room. We've all bought these at either Tuesday Morning, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, wherever. Okay, so we're going to take, excuse me, we're going to take our bow, our seam binding, and we're going to start right there. Okay, right along there, and then we are just going to wrap it around. You don't want to do a tight wrap because eventually you will be moving this off from here. So it's going to end right along there. And I'm going to take my other clip and I'm going to clip that right along there. That was my 13-inch. Now I'm going to take my 10-inch seam binding and I am going to match the ends right here, make it matchy-matchy, and then all I'm going to do is tie it like so. Take these out, move them tighter, and just slide it along here. Then I'm going to go even tighter. And there is my beautiful fluffy bow, okay, and this is Shabby Chic, so if it's fraying, I think it's great that it's fraying because it's Shabby Chic. It doesn't need to be perfect. And what I'm going to do then, excuse me, is I like to protect my mat, so that's why I'm using this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bow, my Shabby Chic bow, and I am just going to hot glue it to this part right along there, and there we go. And there we go. And do then is I'm going to use this iridescent flat back pearl, and I'm going to put it right there. Right there. Oops, this one came out kind of sloppy. It's okay. That's Shabby Chic for you. So that's one. Now let me do another. Oh, I love how these bows came out. They came out so cute. Cute. I'm going to go here. We are going to go here. Yeah. And I am going to use this on there. So what do y'all think? And you see, these are going to go right inside these pockets like so, and it's going to give you that same effect over here as over there. Well, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. So let me continue making these bows. Thank you, Miss Tammy Tutoro, for this wonderful idea. And thank you, Christine, for your wonderful gifts. See, I'm making use of everything that you're sending me. So this one measures, let's see, we're going to cut this at 13. And we're going to take another and cut it at 10. Okay, this one's my 10. Getting all sorts of dried up hot glue on my fingernails and everything. So we're going to take this and we're going to clip it. There we go. And we're going to take the remainder of the string, or in this case our seam binding, and we're just going to wrap it around. There we go. And we are going to clip that. Now we're going to take our 10-inch. Let me make sure, yep, that's a 10-inch. We're going to take it here, here, match up the ends, and like so. Tighter, and there's another bow. Don't you just love this? Oh my goodness, I am so loving this. Where's mine? Here we go. Alrighty, so in order for these measurements, the 13 and the 10 inches, to work for you, let me tell you how far apart these two pieces are from each other. It's 1/2 inch apart, okay? These are 1/2 inch apart. So, and how wide these are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch. And in Tammy's tutorial, she will give you the measurements, how wide these need to be, but like I said, it wasn't working for my purposes because my tags are smaller. So I cut this and I just taped it down, and these are now 1/2 inch apart instead of that big gap. Okay, so and this is what we have so far. The next thing that we gotta do now is we have to build the covers, and these are going to be made out of chipboard, and yeah, and then we bind. I love it. Okay, so for the cover, we are going to cut 2 pieces of chipboard at 5.5 by 3.5. And I've had this paper for a very long time. 2 years seems like a long time. I believe I got this on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And because our style is shabby chic, I think that this paper is perfect for the cover of this shabby chic pocket mini album. So what we're going to do is we'll just pretty much be using 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper, and since our covers are 5.5 by 3.5, we're going to need to cut 2 pieces of these at 7.5 by 5.5. So we should have an inch here, inch, approximately. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I like to take my bone folder and kind of like just make my marks around it. I do this initially to tear the fibers, break into those fibers. And then I like to go like so, like so. Like so, and like so. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into my corners, but not all the way to the end. Just kind of fixing my scissors here. I have other scissors, but these are the ones that I like to use because they are the sharpest ones, and no matter how much glue or adhesive goes on these, they remain sharp. So, and these are from Farmerware. They're from my kitchen. And obviously these are not kitchen scissors anymore. So we're going to cut across like this. This is the point, the X point where everything meets. Notice how I didn't go all the way in. You do not want to cut all the way in because if you do, once you fold your papers, your chipboard's going to show, and you don't want your chipboard to show. So that is why we're going outside that line, that X line, or the cross line. Okay. And now we are going to take some double-sided tape. Whoops. We're going to take, excuse me, our double-sided tape and apply it to our chipboard. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the measurement, the 3.5 by 5.5 of the chipboard, and I'm going to go down 1/4 of an inch to cut these 2 that are going to go on the inside. So So we have the front and back covers to our mini album, our Shabby Chic mini album, and this is all that's left from that 12 by 12 sheet, and the next segment is the binding. This is the last thing that we got to do. Now, you have choices here. You can, if you wish, you could just punch holes in each one of these and use the regular ring binder. You can attach 2 or maybe 3 ring binders here if you do not own a binding machine for these, or you could use your cinch or your zutter. You can bind it however you want to bind it. So for the binding, it is crucial that we get it right, which is why you want to cut a couple of pieces of scratch paper to the measurements of the width of what you're going to be binding. For example, the covers, the width is going to be 3.5 inches. So I have cut some cardstock at 3.5 inches, and the width of the pockets inside are going to be 3.25 inches. So I've cut another piece at 3.25 inches. And this is why we want to do our scratch papers, because once we do this, we're able to take our ruler and see, okay, we just want to ensure that this stays as centered as possible. So over here, come to here, and over here. Ooh, that is perfect. It is going to be perfect. So that's going to look like it. Ooh, that's perfect. That's perfect. And then we're going to have thing come out like so. So this is going to go a little bit out. Okay, so now that I have this set to exactly where I need it to be, okay, whoops, I didn't cut that right. Let me turn it around to ensure that those were the measurements that I wanted. Yeah. Yep, that is it. Okay, so now that I've got my measurements set here, this is what I need to do. I take my front cover and I take my back cover. I know that it's going to go like this. Now, the front cover, the top part is going to be up, okay? I'm going to cut with the top part up. I'm going to ensure that this touches all the way to the back, okay? And I'm going to push on that lever. We have our first cut. Now, our book goes like this. See? This is the inside of the back cover. Here's the outside of the back cover. Okay? So what I want to do is, since this is how our book functions, I'm going to need to cut with the inside facing up. Okay? And let me make sure that we have our letters the right way. Okay, here we go. With the inside facing up. Okay, this is our back cover, and this is our front cover, and they both match wonderfully. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this way once and see where that takes me. Okay, I got to make sure that this is straight. And I want to see how far we are. Here to here, it's almost a half. Here to here. Okay. We need to go a little bit more this this way, I think. Okay, so now let's do this one. And let's look at these measurements. Here to here is almost the half. And here it's past the half. So no, that's not going to work. We're going to go back out one, which was this one right here. And I think this is going to be the closest that we're going to get to it being the center. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our first page. Okay, I've already made up my mind that this is the measurement that I'm going to be using. I'm going to put this, make sure that it enters all the way in, make sure that it's sitting right along there, and punch. Now the one thing that I forgot to do was to take out the tags. Let's make sure that we remove the tags. We don't want to punch holes in the tags. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my book. I like that. I like the way those measurements go, so I'm going to remove the tags, and I'm going to do the next sheet, or the next pocket I should call it. And there we go. Alrighty. We're going to remove the binding wires, and I like to use these gold ones whenever I do Shabby Chic. I think it gives it elegance. Okay, so we're going to take these, and the measurement for this wire that I'm using is 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. Alrighty, and since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, I am going to cut at, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to cut here. We have 5 holes there, and we're going to have 5 of these. I don't know what you call these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to cut right there, right in the middle. Okay, there we go. So this one goes back in here. Don't ever throw the wrappers away, okay, because your wrapper is going to tell you how much pressure you're going to need to apply on your machine, okay? So your book is going to look like this. Front cover, back cover. What we're going to do is we're going to take our back cover and we're going to put it to the side, okay? We're going to start with the last page. Oops. There we go. Put it down like that. I had it wrong. We're going to start with the last page. And we're going to do 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Now we're going to put our front cover there, and our back cover goes last with the inside looking up. This is the inside of the back cover. That's the outside of the back cover. So that's inside looking up, and the back cover is going to go last. Okay? That's how we arrange our book. So now, we have this little thingamajiggy that we push and we turn, okay? What you do is, you're going to go to the measurement that was in your bag, and you're going to apply it here. See, I already have it at 3/4, but if I needed to move this, I can easily do that. So let's go back to 3/4, and that will apply the right amount of pressure on your project. So this is not for kiddos, okay? This right here will crush your kids' fingers. So if you're making a mini album with the kids, okay, you, the grown-up, have to do this part right here, Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to apply there and we're going to kind of hold it in there, but be careful, watch your fingers, okay? So now that we have our book bound, this is what it looks like. And the last page, we are going to decorate this part right along here. We're going to add this here and this over here, and then with this set of dies, the Spellbinders Die Delights Frame 1, number S2-001, with this part right here, I went ahead and I cut this portion right here, and with this part right here, I cut this portion over here, okay, and I do believe I have some sentiments left from the paper pad, and yeah, let me go ahead and gather my things and then we can decorate our cover. Okay, so I was looking through past Spellbinders packages, and I do have some of this trim from a Gilded Life left, so I'm going to go ahead and use this on this. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to apply our corners on there. Okay. So we are going to, let me go ahead and open this up like this. It'll be a lot easier. So far. my son says it looks good. We could put yes, perfect, perfect, and I do have a few of these. This is perfect. Okay. Ow! And this is also from the Spellbinders, A Gilded Life, and I will be leaving links to these. And I do know for a fact that these have been clearanced out. They're on clearance, so you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, ladies. So if you're interested in these, I wouldn't wait too long if I were you, because once these are gone, they're gone. Okay. And you have seen me use these in other projects before. So, alrighty. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this down here. Or should I put this up here? And then this right here, or, hang on, put this there, and that there. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, okay, and this is gonna be so supery dupery dimensional. Okay. So now, let's see, what did I do with them? Here's this, here's these. I'm going to use my little mounting squares. And how dimensional do I want it to be? Okay, before I do anything else, we are going to just ink it just a little bit, not too much. Can you tell I'm having fun doing this? I'm just loving this. Okay. And I'm wondering, yeah, let me go ahead and ink this just a little bit. Just like so. Just like so. And like so. Alrighty. So now, what I'm going to do, and that is my husband he came in earlier to tell me that he was going to run the vacuum cleaner because he broke something, which is fine by me as long as he's cleaning it up. Okay, here we go. This goes there, so depending on whether or not I can edit that loud sound off, if you hear it in the background, that is my husband vacuuming whatever it is that he dropped. Okay. So this is going to go like this, and because I'm wondering, just stick this like so. Stick this like so. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some double-sided tape. One for here. And another one here. Oh, I'm so excited! It came out beautifully! Yay! I think what I'm more excited about is to see who is going to win this. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to try to center this as best as I can. There we go. This is going to go right there. And this is going to go, oh, don't mess up, Sandy. Right there. And this is also going to be dimensional. Let's make that dimensional. We're almost done. I'm so excited. We're almost done. Okay. That one goes there. 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 Okay. And this is like the bride and groom on top of a wedding cake. The bride and groom. So we are going to put this on here, and hang on a second. There we go. That way I can press it better. And this is going to go